Today we only have apps to play games or to check out available nearby, but nobody is actually looking at no such concerns. I really applaud the entire team that has gone forward to create this app. Coming from the Confederation of Indian Industry, you might think, what is industry doing here? Trying to applaud the sort of concern that is happening in the world today. Industry's major concern is also trying to create a sustainable environment, trying to create sustainable practices within the manufacturing and the services sector, so that we actually have a very, very low impact in trying to pollute our environment today. So at CII, we also do actively work in such verticals too. We do have an environmental vertical where actually companies do come forward and they churn in or they put in all their corporate social responsibility funds to ensure that the environment is least damaged and that we do create a healthier world for the next generation like all of you. So I really applaud the entire team of WWF for envisaging this entire application and for creating it so that students like all of you will be interested to understand what is happening in the world today. If you look at our very own city, over the past few weeks or past few months, we've just seen garbage piling up. And I think in India, one thing that I'm saddened to say, I feel, is we lack the empathy, or we lack the aggression to go and to create a noise with the government authorities or with the municipal administration as to why city is not being kept clean. We happily toss a wrapper on the road. We see people spitting or urinating and we just turn a blind eye to that. Why aren't we actually creating a mass movement against these sort of atrocities? See, in the Western world, you have activists who actually play that role. But in India, I feel like the chalta hai attitude. If it's not my concern, if it's not happening in my background or near my doorstep, I really don't care. But I think that we should, especially the next generation, should look at these. You should come on to a unified platform and raise your voice against all these sort of things. We see garbage piling up, we see the roads in such a dismal state of affairs. We see our lakes being polluted in the name of religion. I mean, you see Ganesh Chaturthi and then you have all these things that are polluting the lakes. And that is the resources that we need to actually preserve for the coming generation. But in the name of religion or in the name of politics, things just go on and then people just keep quiet. So how many of us are actually standing forward and actually getting things done? How many of us are actually pooling together our resources, pooling together like-minded people and trying to save the coming generation? So I would actually urge students like all of you to use these sort of platforms like the WWF, like the nature camps and the nature clubs in your own schools, to actually come forward and look at what you can actually do towards cleaning the environment, towards making the next generation a more livable and a healthy planet that our Mother Earth is. All of you must have known about the Swachh Bharat mission. So how many of you are actually participating in it? Yes, I see a few hands. But it's just not enough to just take a jadu and clean in front of your doorstep. This has to be a sustainable environment and it has to be a sustainable movement. See, recently I've just seen couple of those solar powered small cubicles which are supposed to be men's urinals that are placed all over the park near KBR, which is very close to this place. But sadly, I see men using the open space rather than going into those places. And I always think I should take out a photograph and then post it to the papers, but then by the time my car just speeds off. So sometimes the intention is there, but we really don't know how to come forward and to get things done, how to get a mass voice heard by the authorities that can actually start penalizing such people, that can actually start to implement good practices around our city. So I think students like all of you should actually start helping into this. So apps like this will actually help you to understand what are the pollution levels that are there in our city, what are the permissible levels, probably what sort of birds are dying because of the various ill effects of urbanization. So I think all of you have a much larger role to play in the coming years, and make your nature club or your nature camp in your school a little bit more visible in the entire scheme of things. Make it visible, make sure your voice is heard by the authorities, and make sure that we actually do activities and initiatives that actually create a lasting effect on the initiatives in our city. Recently, we had actually, as part of a WWF tour, we had been to the Sundarbans. And I went with a lot of excitement, thinking I would see tons of tigers there. We could probably touch one. But sadly, of course, all the tigers were hiding inside, and we just got to see a few birds here and there. But one highlight of that trip was our visit to a model school there that has been adopted by WWF. And they call this model school ESD, I think, Education for Sustainable Development. And the activities that that club was actually doing for the entire school was amazing. And this is in a very, very remote village. The village hardly has not more than 200 or 300 population, but it is one of the biggest high schools in that area, which actually attracts students from a huge radius of villages there. And if you look at the students, they are actually on par with all the students in cities. And here we have so many facilities available for us, but they actually don't. But out of the limited resources and the limited facilities that they have actually created all these small initiatives within their school, which are sustainable, which actually have a least effect on the environment, and will actually recycle or reuse or reduce the amount of pollution. So I'll just read out a few of the activities that I had the privilege of seeing, so that probably schools like all of you could actually take up a few of those initiatives. A group of students were actually maintaining a medicinal and a herbal garden, which was very, very beautiful, right in middle of the school. There was a team that was converting organic waste into vermin compost. There was another team that was collecting data on the weather conditions with the help of a weather station. It's not only what you learn in physics or biology or chemistry, but actually putting that knowledge to use and having the application specific actually helps you in the long run. Use of solar cooker for boiling water, and in fact for them the midday meal, I think all the rice is being cooked by the solar cooker there. They have a practice of harvesting rainwater, and finally they also reach out to all the communities around them to help them grow indigenous vegetables and fruits. So how many of our nature clubs are actually trying to do these sort of initiatives? How many of us are actually having some sort of a community outreach program? I think we should be looking into those. So teachers, I would also request all of you to make it more application specific, make it more practically oriented, so that there is some connect with the community outside too. So thank you so much. It is my privilege to be here today. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this mobile app works. And I would like to congratulate all the schools who have taken the effort to promote these sort of activities within their schools. Please also ensure that the schools around you also get into this sort of a format. Having maybe open up your own nature club to your surrounding schools that don't have these sort of facilities. Maybe a poorer government school, maybe your team can actually tie up with those schools around and go and talk to them. I'm sure your students can go and talk to the students of government schools or schools that don't have these privileges and facilities.